that's a good fight for AJ. Tyson Fury, I think he always has been.
This is Jonathan Aggie of Here for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by trainer Tony Sims here in Monte Carlo. Tony, a couple of times you've been here now. How do you find the place for boxing and just as a general place to go?
Yeah, it's a great place, and as you say, Joe boxed in 2019. I've been to previous shows here as well, and it's just a great place to come, and we get a great welcome here from the Monaco people and the Monaco Commission. It's just it's a great welcome here, and it's a fantastic place to be here to fight.
What's the difference, would you say, from Joe Cordina back then to the guy we see now? And obviously he's world champion, but how much has he evolved, and what has he evolved in?
Yeah, he's obviously improved since then. He boxed another tough Mexican then in Monaco, who just had a great knockout win against Jordan Gill. So he was a tough kid, and Joe boxed well that night, and so Joe knows all about how tough the Mexicans are and what they bring to the table, and obviously he's prepared well for this fight, and we're looking forward to the fight on Saturday night.
What were you expecting from Vazquez? I mean, watching his fight with Ray Ford, people know how he boxes, but is this going to be Joe's toughest fight, or do you feel like he's already beaten better guys in it?
I never like to put down any fighter or any opponent. I just believe that Joe Cordina, he's a superior fighter to Vazquez, and like he says, like he already says, you've got to be a special fighter to beat him at super featherweight, and he don't believe that Vazquez is that type of special fighter that could beat him. So, he's confident of his abilities and confident of coming away with a win on Saturday night.
Just moving on, Tony, Conor Benn against Eubank Jr. When are you hearing for that fight?
Well, Charlie, he's in negotiations with Matchroom at the minute, so them negotiations are ongoing. So we're hopefully getting a step closer to getting the fight done. So we're a lot closer than we was last week, and hopefully we'll be a lot closer next week than we are now. So we'll just see how it goes, So the negotiations are ongoing at the minute.
Do you believe that fight will happen here in the UK, or rather in the UK?
Yeah, I do believe that fight will happen in the UK, and it's going to be a great spectacle. We all know the history of Ben Eubank, and I think the fight's gone from being a fight of the fathers to now being a grudge fight with the sons. I don't think they respect. There's much respect there between each other now, as there was before, and I think he's a real grudge fight now.
See, he went up in weight for the Orozco fight, his comeback fight. Some suggestions from people online that maybe his power doesn't carry up beyond 147. What would you say to people who doubt whether he can compete with a 160-pounder?
I think we see that his power was there. I think obviously Orozco's never been on the floor in nearly 40 professional fights and 175 amateur fights. He's never been floored or stopped. So I think we see that Conor Benn's power was there for plain to see. But I just think Orozco's he's obviously got a phenomenal chin, and another really tough Mexican, and I don't believe that Eubank's got the same chin as Orozco. I just don't believe he has. I think the knockout against Smith in the first fight, I don't believe Smith's as big a puncher as Conor Benn. So we'll see anyway when they both get into the ring.
Were you, Tony, as shocked as everyone else to see what happened on Saturday night in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, sure. I think it was an absolute shocking result, and it was a shocking performance, to be truthful, from Tyson Fury. I don't think anybody in the world expected that performance. Looking at him physically, I don't believe that he physically was prepared for that type of fight. I don't think mentally he didn't look prepared for that type of fight. I think he was looking at December the 23rd against Usyk. He was totally overlooking Ngannou, and I think Ngannou surprised us all really with his ability to box. He was strong, and I don't believe Tyson Fury will come in that sort of physicality or mentally prepared like he was the other night. I think we'll see a different Tyson Fury in the Usyk fight.
Eddie Hearn's been saying, listen, after that, AJ knocks Fury out in 6 rounds. Obviously, AJ's his guy, but based on what you saw, do you feel that fight has changed in terms of, does AJ have a better chance now?
I've always believed that, obviously I trained AJ, and I've always believed that, AJ against Fury would be a good fight for AJ, and it's about styles, and AJ, that's a good fight for AJ. Tyson Fury, I think he always has been. Out of the two of them, AJ's the puncher. There's not much difference, like Ngannou the other night, there's not much difference in height and strength. If anything, Joshua carries the strength. So I always believe that type of fight, that type of style, Joshua would always have a good chance of beating Tyson Fury. You look at the Usyk fight, but Usyk's always a tricky customer for the style that Joshua brought to the table. It was always going to be a tricky fight, and with Fury it'd be a totally different fight anyway. So that's the fight that everybody wants to see as well. So obviously Fury's got to come through the Usyk fight, and that's always a tricky fight for anyone.
Just finally, Tony, George Groves feels that Fury either fights Ngannou in a rematch or he retires. No Usyk fight. Do you think there's any chance that he retires, and is there any chance he'll rematch Ngannou first?
I don't think. I think he's already signed for the Usyk fight, I believe anyway. That's what obviously we hear. So I don't believe there's any chance of a return of Ngannou. I think you'll probably see Ngannou go on to fight the big names in the division, because they're all going to fancy their chances, i.e. Joshua, Wilder, Zhang. They're all going to fancy their chances against Ngannou, and now he's a big name now as well. So I think you'll see Ngannou fight the other top contenders.
Tony, appreciate your time. Best of luck Saturday night.
Thanks very much.